faithful Niner Empire. What's good? What's good? What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. Faithful Niner Empire. What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. Welcome back to another episode of What's Good. Yours truly, Jay in the Bay. Shout out to the 49ers Cutback. Hopefully everyone had an excellent Thanksgiving. And hey, we're in December. It's that holiday season, and there'll be plenty of presents given around. And what a present the NFL schedule has given us between the Dolphins and the 49ers. The teacher versus the pupil. You got Shanahan going up against McDaniel. You've got a lot of former 49er players who are currently on the Dolphins. So it's going to be a interesting reunion between these two teams. Both teams are playing at a high level right now. Obviously, the Fins, they're looking pretty good with Tua. I don't know if you've seen his stats. He's playing pretty efficient football right now. I think he's got 19 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's got great receivers, and both teams are really hitting all cylinders. So it's great that they're playing at this time. I wish the NFL would flex this game to Sunday night football prime time, but unfortunately, that won't come to fruition. But I'm looking forward to this game. Niners, Fins on Sunday. A lot of storylines. But let's get into Jay's 5 big things.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
5 big things.
Number one, this offense has to wake up. 13 points. I don't think we're going to be able to beat the Fins if we score 13 points again, faithful. I'm not really confident in that. This offense needs to get on track. It's been a roller coaster season for the offense so far. We've seen highs and lows all along the schedule. 49ers need to get back to basics. And I think the way they do that is you got to win up front. I don't know what you guys saw last week, faithful, but the Saints, they dominated the line of scrimmage, at least on the defensive line. We weren't really able to run the ball. We weren't able to protect Jimmy consistently enough. And to get things on track, this offensive line has got to protect Jimmy and also has to open holes in the offensive line. Another thing, we struggled last week on third downs. We're only 5 of 13 on third down conversions. We got to get positive yardage on the early downs, first and second down. We know Shanahan loves to run the ball on those downs. So the offensive line is able to create some holes. We'll have some third and shorts, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. I think that will allow this offense to continue to have success. And of course, we know our red zone issues. Got to be able to convert in the red zone and score touchdowns. We're not going to be able to beat the Dolphins with Robbie Gould's right foot. I can tell you that right now. We're going to have to score a lot of points in this game because this offense is one of the best offenses in the NFL. Make no mistake about it. Number 2, the teacher versus the pupil. I don't know if you guys know this, but Shanahan and McDaniel, they've been together for about 14 years. They've been on 5 separate teams. I mean, these guys have spent more time with each other than probably their own families. Like, let's be real. I mean, let's face it. These 2 guys are family. They go way back. And, who's going to have the upper hand? Who's going to have the advantage? Obviously, both guys know each other's offensive system. They know what each other wants to do. It looks like McDaniel is throwing the ball a lot more. They rank 2nd in the NFL in most passing yards average per game. I mean, Tua is throwing the ball. I wouldn't necessarily say he's throwing a lot of deep shots, but he's able to throw like crossing patterns. He's able to get the ball into, Tyreek Hill and Waddle his hands. They also have a great tight end as well, Gesicki. So, what's that matchup going to be like? I think the more important matchup, honestly, is those D'Amico Ryans versus Mike McDaniels. That's going to be very intriguing. I think the secondary I mean, I've said this before. I don't think the secondary is as good as it could be if Emmanuel Mosley was in. Obviously, that's not the case, but Timo Lenore going up against either Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle, man, you have a tough task on Sunday, that's for sure. Because, like I said before, this offense is high powered, and I'm interested to see how Mike McDaniel can try to move the ball against this 49ers defense. The Dolphins don't really run the ball for a high clip as far as rushing yards a game. They're in the bottom 5, so they really want to air it out. Now, the Fins, their offensive linemen, they're having some issues. They're questionable. I think at least their offensive tackles, also the interior of their offensive line, have given up some pressures and sacks. So can this 49ers D line get pressure on Tua and make him make mistakes with making reads? So very interesting. I can't wait to see this matchup on Sunday. Number 3. Weapons galore. We know the 49ers have weapons galore, but the Miami Dolphins, they're going to have 2 wide receivers who have over 1,000 yards receiving if they stay healthy at the end of the year. They've got an excellent tight end in Gesicki. We know they have Raheem Mostert. They have Jeff Wilson Jr. The defense isn't bad either. They traded for Bradley Chubb, got Xavier Howard. So it is a star-studded team out there in Miami and South Beach. And I would say this is probably the toughest game we'll play the rest of the regular season, I would say. But, the Dolphins, they're right behind the Chiefs, I feel, as far as talent, as far as coaching. And we know what the Chiefs did to us. So 49ers definitely need to, continue this win streak that we have, but it's going to be a very tough task against the Miami Dolphins. Number 4. What's it going to take? The 49ers, we weren't able to really run the ball last week. Unfortunately, Elijah Mitchell got hurt. CMC got nicked up as well. I believe he was a full participant in practice today. But what's it going to take to see Jordan Mason? What's it going to take to see TDP? I think we will see those guys on Sunday. I think Shanahan kind of has to now with Mitchell being hurt. But the only way these guys will be successful is this offensive line has to be able to block for them and create open holes. And also, you got to get the ball to Kittle. Let's get the ball more to George Kittle. I feel like that's a recurring theme in this offense. And Jimmy's going to have to play. We're going to need another 4 touchdown performance out of Jimmy, I think, in order to win this game. But I can't wait to see this matchup. I think this is one of the best matchups on Sunday. And like I said before, I wish this game was prime time. Number 5. Best performance yet, faithful. We're going to need this defense to have its best performance yet. I know, hey, they're number 1 in a lot of the NFL categories as far as defensive and the way they're rated, but we're going to have to be even better on Sunday, if that's even possible. I know we haven't allowed 0 points in the second half of 4 straight games. I would be, if the Niners were able to do that against the Dolphins, that's incredible. I don't see what could top that the rest of the season. But, the key, you got to get pressure against Tua. The Fins don't really run the ball that much on a consistent basis. The 49ers obviously got to slow down the run. Eric Armstead has been practicing. Maybe we'll see him back. Samson is back on the practice field as well. So, this 49ers defense is going to have to continue to be the reason why we're winning games. Let's be real. They're going to have to continue to be the reason why we win this game. But, hopefully the offense can match the defense's output. We're going to need all 3 units really to have a successful game and a victory on Sunday if we want to beat the Miami Dolphins. Let's get into AJ. And this is where users submit their questions to yours truly, Jay in the Bay. Let's get the first question. We have Kid Cloud Kicker. Let's go. Thanks for the question. Will the 49ers pass rush be able to get to Tua? I think so. I think this Dolphins offensive line is banged up. And I think even if Armstead doesn't come back, I think we will be able to get pressure. Bosa just was awarded Defensive Player of the Month. Congratulations to Bosa. I think he will continue to make his presence felt against this Dolphins offensive line. But also, we're going to have to slow down their running game. I know they don't do it at a high clip, but Jeff Wilson Jr. and Raheem Mostert, trust me, they're going to have something to prove as well. But yes, that is one of the keys to the victory for the Niners. You got to be able to get after Tua with Samson, Drake Jackson, Omenwehu, Bosa, Givens, Hassan Ridgeway, all the guys. They're going to have to be able to get to Tua. He can't just sit comfortable in the pocket. Appreciate the question, KCK. Let's get to the next question. We have Kylie in the building. What's good? Kylie says, which running game has the advantage, Miami or San Francisco? Ooh. I mean, I know CMC, he practiced today, but is he really going to be, comfortable on that knee? I mean, time will tell. He said that he is a full go for the game. I know he says that, but we'll see what happens if we be able to be himself. Deebo Samuel, man, it's the hammy, it's the quad. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Deebo. The guy's nicked, unfortunately. And then we're going to see, of course, Jordan Mason, and hopefully we see some TDP. But the Finns, Raheem Mostert, he's looking healthy. Jeff Wilson Jr. playing like he got something to prove. It's going to be interesting. Obviously, we're very good on our run defense, but I think the Finns might have the advantage on the run in the running game on Sunday, because we're going to be going up against two backs who want something to prove on a team that basically said, "Hey, we don't need you. We're better without you." So if you don't think that's motivation, we'll see on Sunday. That's for sure. But I think Miami has the advantage. Thanks for the question, Kylie. Jess, what's good? When will the Jack Rabbit get on the field for the 49ers? All right, that's a great question. The Jack Rabbit is practicing with the 49ers this week. I would be surprised if he gets called up this week. I mean, I don't believe he's played any games this season. He really hasn't played since last year. What type of physical shape is he in? Obviously not the best of the best. He hasn't been on the team this entire offseason. So I don't think he gets called up this week. But, Demo Lenore is going to get tested in today's game. Sammy Womack, I'm sure he'll get in as well. They'll get tested. But I think the Jack Rabbit is there just in case there's an injury to the secondary. Of course, there's Dante Johnson as well. But I don't think he'll see the field this week. I think, though, he will play, I would surmise, in the last two games of the season. That's what I'm going to say. The last two games of the season, I think he will get some run, but it could be sooner if there's an injury. And, of course, we hope there's no injuries. But appreciate the question, Jess.
Fadeaway Jay.
It's time for Fadeaway Jay. Man, this is going to be an exciting game between two high-flying offenses. One likes to pass the ball a lot in the Miami Dolphins, and of course the Niners want to run the ball a lot. So what gives? Whose style is going to win versus the opponent's defense? And I'm honestly leaning a little bit towards Miami. I think this is going to be one of the toughest 49er games this year. This is one of the toughest opponents. I think this is the toughest opponent we'll face the rest of the season. And, Miami is playing really well. They are doing a lot of good things on offense. We struggled last week against the Saints, but can this defense play like it did last week? I think that's honestly asking a little bit too much to expect this defense to really put the clamps on Miami and not allow them to score more than 21 points. Like if you tell me today the Niners defense won't allow Miami to score more than 21 points, I say the Niners should be able to win this game. It's just going to take Jimmy making good decisions, the offensive line being able to block for Jimmy. And I just don't think CMC's going to be, I just don't think he's going to be 100%. I know they say he's going to play, but Jordan Mason may have to carry the load. TDP may have to get some run as well. Who knows if Debo plays? Even if he plays, he's not going to be 100%. So I'm going to lean on the 49ers defense being able to win this game. Maybe we'll get some turnovers, some timely turnovers against this Miami offense. And I'm going to take the 49ers to win 31-24 over the Miami Dolphins. And obviously the defense is going to have to get some turnovers, and we're going to have to be almost hitting on all cylinders on offense. And we haven't seen that very many times this season. So that's why I'm a little nervous, but I'm taking my Niners. And I appreciate you guys watching another episode of What's Good with yours truly, Jay in the Bay. And go Niners. Have a safe weekend. See you guys next week.